Let me ask you a question. I bet that there are a number of little things you do that take 5 seconds each time, that you do every time because you recognize that it improves your safety. So let me just ask you a question. Do you put on your seatbelt? Do you turn the deadbolt every night as you lock up? Do you have lights that you turn on before you walk outside? Little things that take 2 to 5 seconds, but I bet you do them almost every single time because you recognize that they significantly increase your personal, maybe business safety. Well, what I'd like to do here is to talk for just a couple of minutes here about one of those that I think is really, really important. It's called two-factor authentication. Now, I know I'm going to get technical on you. No, I actually am not going to get technical on you. I'm just going to tell you real quickly why I think it's valuable. It's abbreviated 2FA. This is what happens when, for example, I had to do something on my iPad the other day, and I went into my Apple account and I signed in, and my phone was sent this little thing that I had to click on that says, yes, this is me. That's two-factor authentication. So basically, what it comes down to is putting something else behind something else. It's the equivalent of you have a bank card, but just in case someone else steals your wallet and goes to your bank and tries to withdraw something, you also have a PIN number. That's two-factor authentication. So here's the thing. Being secure isn't easy. The bad guy counts on your being lax in protecting yourself. The thing is, you have to be successful every single time. The bad guy, they only have to succeed once to get access to your crown jewels and everything. So this is the reason why we do things like I've talked about using a password tool like LastPass or 1Password or something like that. Strongly, strongly recommend that. But this is the reason why places like Facebook and Apple and Google and Dropbox and so many others have started using two-factor authentication. Basically, it's a few extra seconds that significantly increase your security. Significantly increases your security as you do things. I strongly recommend you use it. And it's my favorite price. It's free. So here's the thing. So it basically comes down to this. You put a password in someplace and then you get some other thing that forces you to confirm it. So for example, as I mentioned before, it's like the bank card and the PIN, but it can be something like the verification code. And so it sends so Amazon sends my cell phone something that says, hey, is this you? Before someone can buy something. And every once in a while, I have to go in for somebody else and put that in because maybe my wife's buying something and she's on a browser where she cleared cookies or something like that. It can be other kinds of acknowledgments. Like, for example, Google sends me something that pops up in my Gmail on my phone, and I have to acknowledge that it's me. Or sometimes you have to do something like key in another code, or there's some apps that do this, all kinds of different things. Eventually, we're going to get to retinal scans and thumbprints and things like that. Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, sometimes you actually have to walk in the other room and find your cell phone. But I tell you, it's absolutely worth it. So I'll just give you one quick example. I got hacked on one of my websites like 3 months ago. It took me almost 6 weeks to solve that problem. And if I would have just had two-factor authentication in place, I could have had 6 weeks of my life back. Is it worth having this? Yes, I didn't have it because I had to turn it off because of some reason. I can't remember what it was. And I forgot to turn it back on again. And that little forgetfulness and not spending the few seconds each time I logged into the site cost me 6 weeks of my life and a lot of momentum. And I got to say, it's not worth it. Just go with it. Okay? Oftentimes you have a choice whether you use it or not. Many of these sites give you that choice. My suggestion, choose two-factor authentication. It's totally worth it. And save yourself 6 weeks of a nightmare. All right. So, action plan. Number 1, go to the Googles, the Apples, the Facebooks, the Amazons, those kinds of places where you've turned them down in the past and said, no, I didn't want to use that, and turn it back on again. Number 2, if they give you the ability to back it up, you may want to back it up just in case you ever need it. Number 3, realize that if you're going to do something like replace a cell phone, you may want to go through and just look at, are there two-factor authentications that are on that that'll get fouled up if I do that, and maybe go turn them off for a few days while you get your new cell phone. Little tricks, little things that we learn as we go through life. But here's the thing. Simple, easy protection. Turning the deadbolt at night. You know, the robber's walking down the road trying to decide which house he's going to rob. Is he going to go first for the house that has the old simple lock, the single lock that he can do with a single credit card? Or is he going to choose the one that's got a deadbolt on top of it? Pretty easy decision as far as he's concerned. Okay, so just the bad guys, they just want to win. They just want to beat people. And rarely are they after you. They're after everyone that they can get. And so if there's something that is more difficult, they just say, oh, okay, he's off the list. I'm going on the next one because somebody down this is going to be really easy. Don't be the easy guy. Okay, sorry. I've been up on my soapbox. I'll get off my soapbox. Let me know your thoughts on this. Why haven't you done it? And are you going to change? Let me know in the comments section. And this is a great little project for a weekend. You know, a couple hours on a weekend when you haven't got anything to do. Try it. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.